to be showing you my favorite coloring books, and this is a follow-up from my last coloring video where I showed you the 14 coloring books that I struggle to color in. Since that video, I've had a lot of comments, all of which I greatly appreciate and value, even though I haven't been able to reply to every single one of them. I do absolutely read and value and appreciate you leaving a comment. I thought it would be good to show you the other side of my coloring world and the books that I absolutely love to color in and thoroughly enjoy. Now, I haven't been coloring in all of these books throughout the year. Some have been neglected and others I've been able to actually color in. And I'm hoping that you will find this very fun and maybe you share some of these as your favorite books too. So I'm going to clear off my desk. I'm going to start at the top and show you in no particular order my favorite coloring books. So first up we have Country Charm. Now I do own several of Teresa Goodridge's Creative Haven books, but Country Charm is still by far my favorite to color. I haven't actually colored in this book this year or much of Teresa Goodridge's books. However, this particular book I find easy to color in. I generally want to color in it, even though it's not as much as I would like. So here you can see I have a whip on the go and I'm practicing a sort of sunset kind of background there. And they're just really beautiful scenic pages to color. I usually color these with Prismacolor Premier pencils. Sometimes I will use a marker base, but all of them are just laid back and fun. I mean, this I'm thinking of doing as an autumn page. And it does move through the seasons. So you have some summer pages, then some interior, some travel focused ones, and then you do have the occasional winter page. So I really quite like this one, and I want to color more in it. So yeah, my absolute favorite Teresa Goodridge book. Next up, I have Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. Now, Hannah Carlson is one of my favorite illustrators, and Tales from the Forest Kingdom has been an absolute favorite of mine since I got it. I find I'm just drawn to this book. So I think it's down to earth. There's a lot to enjoy and like about it. The size of the book is also what I like. It's not overly big. It feels very manageable. And yeah, I've colored in this quite a bit this year, and I'm hoping to continue to do so. I got it last year. You've got room in this book to not do backgrounds or to put in your own backgrounds. There's sufficient portraits, but there's also space for animals and just natural fauna and flora. But yet it's still magical. So these are just the pages I've been coloring in this book. Some of them I've colored up on the channel, others I've colored at home. off camera, and you can check out my completed pages and whips videos. So that is Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson, and this is also one of the books on my to complete list. Next we have Rita Berman's Main Race Dirt Europa, which out of all the Rita Berman books I have, this one is my favorite. Again, some of these I have done as color alongs up on the channel, and others I haven't. So this page here was a disaster, and then this is one of the better ones. Sometimes you do that. You get pages that work and pages that are just painful to look at. I usually use polychromos or Prismacolors to color in these pages. I haven't touched this book this year in 2023, but I am hoping in September I'll get into it again and do a bit more. There's a whip. This one I did with polychromos and gel pen and some pastels. We've got a little house at the background. I don't particularly like distress ink or water-based mediums on this paper. I find I can't get it to really work for me. But I really love everything about these Main Race books because they're traveling through countries and they're just very inspiring. And I love Rita Berman's style of illustrating. So that is Main Race Dirt Europa by Rita Berman. Next we have Fairy and Fantasy Grayscale Coloring Book by Christine Caron, and I think it's safe, I think it's safe to say that Christine Caron is probably a new addition to my favorite artists. I've really enjoyed coloring her illustrations. They've all been very beautiful and quite easy to color. This particular Amazon paper hasn't been too difficult to color in. I've been able to use just about any pencil on this paper. So, and even a little bit of Inktense or some water-based mediums, they've all worked quite well. And because they're quite small, you don't have to fill the entire page with any backgrounds. So, such a very nice book to color in, very easy and simple, but the grayscale makes it also fun. Her grayscale is really good because she shows you the shadows and the highlights, and it's not very deep, so you don't get that gray tinge behind your pencils. So yeah, that's one of my favorite books to color, and it also a book on my to complete list. Then we have Fragile World by Kobe Rosanas, and again I really love his illustrations. I am particularly fond of Fragile World because it doesn't have a lot of creepiness to it, and I also really love nature, so I do find it very enjoyable. And again, I need to come back and do more in this book. I have lots of plans and just not enough time in the day. On this page I did entirely with Inktense pencils. Again, what I also like with this paper is you can use water-based markers, water-based mediums, pencils, and all of that. I want to do this page for the coloring checklist challenge. This was up as a color along on the channel, so I really liked how it turned out. And then the red panda I also did up on the channel. I think the only thing, if you stick to Fragile World with realism in mind, it's very easy to create the same sort of thing as other people. But I don't mind, because I like creating things realistically or with realisticness in mind. But yeah, I have seen people do some amazing work. So yes, that is Fragile World by Kirby Rosanes, another great book, and also one I would love to see completed one day. A newest addition to my favorite artist is Jasmine Beckett Griffith coloring book, and this may be slightly surprising. I really love her drawings. I find her actual style of painting very dramatic. So from learning different atmospheres and creating different effects, I am very drawn to Jasmine Beckett Griffith's work. I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, which is fair enough. This is a whip I need to complete soon for the checklist challenge. So yeah, I don't find her artwork creepy. I've seen much more creepier artwork. I just really like it, and I found it very easy to color in when I did color it in. So I do want to color more in here, especially some of the more, yeah, so I'm thinking I might color in this page, not because I actually like bones, but I'm currently working on a project with my youngest son, and we're building a skeleton as a science project. So I've got that on the mind. So I thought maybe I should just color it in. So yeah, some of her work is a bit on the darker side and others aren't, but I just really do like the dramaticness of it. So that is Jasmine Beckett Griffith's coloring book. And then of course we have the mythographic books. Now when it comes to mythographic, my absolute favorite is still Paradise, and it is my most colored in. And I don't actually know what it is about this book that I find so appealing. I cannot explain it, but I do genuinely enjoy coloring in this book. There's nothing here that I kind of wrinkle my nose to. I just find it really a lot of fun. And the hidden objects, since I've figured out how to cover them up, it has made a world of difference. So I'm finding myself still slightly overwhelmed when I start, but once the background is done and I've covered the hidden objects, it becomes much easier. And sometimes I make mistakes and go over things, or my coloring isn't always as neat and tidy, but I don't mind. I just make it work. So like here's a whip. I've basted all in Inktense. And then I'll go over it with pencils. So if I need to, I draw in to cover the hidden objects, but it works really well. So like if you look here on this rock, there's a broom. So I try and follow the shape of the rock with my Inktense so that it covers, and then I color over the rest. And sometimes I try and use pencils to help me cover things. And this is by Fabiana Atanasio, and the paper is single-sided. It works for a variety of mediums. You can use all sorts of paints and yeah, just about anything. So it's a very free, even though it's detailed, there's a lot of freedom when it comes to coloring these pages. And many of them I just go page through and I'm like, okay, I want to color that one. I want to color that one. That's another one I want to color. So yeah. Right, there is a page in here I can't show you because it's a buddy color. And sometimes with these detailed books, you just have to go for it. And once you've gone for it, it can be the unlocking of a new coloring book and a new favorite. So that is Mythographic Paradise. Then we have Mythographic Voyage, which doesn't have any hidden objects, and these are by Joseph Kattenbang. I got very stuck on this one and I'm using Black Widow pencils, so I need to just carry on coloring what I know and then I will be fine. But again, every single page in here I want to color because they're just whimsical and fun, and there's so much to learn and experience and explore with this book. So just really, really imaginative and fun. And I think that's what I like about it. It really inspires the imagination side of things. So yeah, that is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Kattenbang. Next we have Mythographic Magical Earth, also by Joseph Kattenbang. And again, it's the same thing. I just really like most of these pictures. Even though they're intricate and detailed and in some ways still advanced, I would say some of these are for advanced colorists, not really beginner colorists like me. But they are really appealing and beautiful and fun. I am trying to work on doing more mythographic color alongs because I've noticed that they are quite popular and quite a few people enjoy them. You can do fur if you want on some of the pictures. I mean, there's so much you can practice, really. So yeah, these are still my favorite. I love a good mythographic. And next is Layla Dooley's The Flower Year, a coloring book. Another book I haven't colored much in this year, but one that I really do enjoy coloring in. And I like that each month you have a selection of flowers and flower arrangements you can color. This paper takes just about any form of medium, so you can. This was done with Castle Arts. And again, this one was done with Castle Arts. It is available up on the channel as a color along. Some of them are quick, some of them are a bit more comprehensive. But you can really learn a lot with with these and explore different color combinations of green and other sort of arrangements. You can practice birds. I used Derwent Artist for this one, which just requires a lot of careful layers because of the type of pencil the Derwent Artists are. And this was I followed Coloring with Elena for that one. So yeah, if you really want to practice flowers and leaves, I would highly recommend this book. And you can treat it almost like a diary and color per month. Pick a page in the month you want to color and just color that. I really wanted to do poppies, but I didn't get enough time for it, so I'll have to color them out of order, which you can also do, is just color flowers out of order if you like. A lot of these I've done with polys and prismas. If you have this coloring book and a specific coloring page in here you would like to see colored as a color along, do let me know in the comments below and I will make sure to do that for you. Sometimes the pages are quite busy and I don't always want to do a background because I think there's enough going on. So like this was a November page. And then you go all the way up to December, and at the back you can read which flowers she used. So yeah, I really love Leila Dooley's work. She is exceptional when it comes to drawing nature. Really, really fabulous book. So that is The Flower Year, a coloring book by Leila Dooley. Also on my list of books to finish one day. Then we have Romantic Country by Erie. This is the first tale, and I've just only recently worked out how to color in this beautiful book, and I've decided that I'm going to try very hard to theme the Romantic Country series. I will at some point get the third tale, so if I theme the book, I'm hoping it will create like a story. So I really like that idea. So I'm very excited to do that as much as I possibly can. So for instance, here's a whip and I'm busy working on the buildings, and then wherever I find these specific buildings in the other two books or even in this book, I'm going to use the same colors. So I am trying to think carefully about what I'm doing and where I'm headed with. This was a series up on the channel, and then I will take some of the inspiration and apply it in here. And it's broken up into chapters, so it's very, very easy. And the soft gray lines really help to, they don't really get in the way. So I've really found this book to be quite interesting as I go along. So here I'm following a color along by the artist DK Design here on YouTube. So I'm going to be following quite a few of her color alongs just to learn different atmospheres and lighting and things that I'm finding tricky to teach myself without someone else's expertise. So for instance, with all these books, I would refer back to the page where I've just done Henry's Bookshop, and I'll try and pull out these colors and then put them on this page here. And by doing so, hopefully create a theme. So yeah, this book in particular I really like. I find myself more drawn to it than the second tale, but yeah, really loving it. All right, so finally we have Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. Now I do have her first book, but I've decided that this one is still my favorite, and I don't know particularly why. I think it's because there is a bit of a story going on in this book. You have some of the pages where, so you have this guy meeting this girl, and then there's a little bit of a theme that goes on later on. You know, they're doing gardening together, and you've got underwater scenes. So a lot of just magical world. But then later on, we come to this boy and this girl, and I think, yeah, they get married. There's the wedding dress being planned. There's the romance. So you've got a little bit of that going on. But it also goes through the seasons. You have a nighttime scene. And a lot of these pages I'm just so drawn to, and I want to, if I could just sit and color it, and this alone, I would be very happy. Here's a nice, this is the front cover, so you could do that for Halloween if you're interested in Halloween. A tea party. Then you come into like Christmassy stuff. So yeah, I find them very detailed, but a lot of fun and playful, and you can experiment with bright colors and all of that. So yeah, that is Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. Well, everyone, these are my favorite coloring books. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing what I love to color, and let me know in the comments what are your favorite artists or coloring books. I'd love to hear about your favorites, and I will see you in another video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video interesting and fun, do like, subscribe, or comment below, and I hope to see you in another video. Until next time, everyone, take care. Bye for now.